Hello, my name is Elizabeth DeVries. I have many websites you can see below. I'm an artist and a mystic and also a medium. I also work a lot with animals, and people give readings daily and healings. I teach energy healing, but most of all, I'm doing this series of videos to help humanity at this time from my own small world. What are we to do right now I think we first and foremost need to take our energy and stop complaining about our health, stop complaining about the president, stop complaining about the economy. Just stop complaining. We have cells in our body with little receptors. Every word that we speak, every feeling in our heart that we express, the receptors in our body hear that and recreate it within our environment. So what to do in such a time, where to place our focus, what to do day to day, moment to moment. Whether you're male or female right now, in this time, in the past, in the future, there's only one pathway, and that is to the light of our own being. How to carry the light of our own being, how to adjust to the moment. It only can occur when we align our body, our heart, our mind, and our Holy Spirit as one. In other words, we need to develop, become aware of, when we are in integrity of self, where all are aligned, and when we're out of integrity. When we complain or focus on the negative or tell people we worry about them, we are standing in a negative force. When we sit, it's not that we shouldn't be informed of what is going on. I used to listen to the news or study politics for hours. I now take about 10 minutes to update myself on what's going on in our country, in our world, how it's interacting, and then I go into deep contemplation about my role in this world and how I can contribute. We're all here to perform some form of act of service from our heart. Now that could be creating a beautiful garden. It could be singing in the choir. It could be raising animals. It could be raising children. It could be cooking. It could be painting, singing. Whatever it is, you came here. If I looked at your astrology chart, you can see deeply within the chart what you spent many lifetimes developing within your own soul, what you're supposed to do with that in this life, and where you're supposed to express it. We all have these innate gifts, and the greatest gift we can give to our children is the freedom to uncover their own individual gifts and share them with the world without our indoctrination of what we want for them in order to fulfill us. So our gift to our children, which is aligned with where we're heading, and it would be grand in school if we were taught these things about the development of our deepest gifts and how to share them in a form of service to the world. Because that way we would stay in our joy. Because when we do what we love and what is our gift, we are filled with the light of creative force, and that brings us into an alignment of body, heart, mind, and spirit. So with our children, the greatest gift we can do is to draw out of them and give them opportunity to uncover their own gift from spirit, which they have developed over many lifetimes. So I'm going to draw a card for today. Today is the 11th of March. We're heading into some deep astrological intense weather over the next month. And how do we personally deal with that? Today we're having tariff wars and the stock market rollicking and a lot of bad mouthing. Yes, we should express and set our boundaries of where we think the country's going and connect with our congressmen and our senators and the White House to express from our heart what we have observed and where we think things have gone wrong. But to spend hours complaining to each other about the state of affairs in our world is accomplishing nothing. Helping another and growing in our own light is the greatest way we can change the world. If we knew what our energy fields look like, if we could see our animation and our emanation of our energy fields when we're in a state of light, illumination, creativity, love, wisdom, service, we would see bright colors and we would see them intensified and spreading long distances eternally outward. If we saw ourselves in grief, depression, criticism, negativity of any form, we would see a shrunken aura. We would see a more condensed, darker colored aura. So really and truly, we are walking into the world as individual orbs, satellite stations of where we are in each moment. Now, we are born with basic colors around us that are very linked to our gift and to our purpose here. Those colors will go brighter or dimmer, more illuminating or more depressive according to our thought forms. So today, what could we do today? What could we do that would express our beingness to the fullest today? This is a very fascinating card. It is a card of the divine masculine with the divine feminine uniting in a place of sensitive awareness of each other. There's a show on Netflix called Love is Blind, and this reminded me of that, sensing the love and the depth and the soul of another without actually seeing them in physical form. I heard a beautiful video by Marianne Williamson today talking about not Marianne Williamson, another woman, I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, talking about the divine feminine will be the ones that recreate out of this chaos. They will be the recreators. And as they step into their light-filled feminine wisdom and manifest the growth and nurture back through healing from the source of their own motherly feminine nature, the divine masculine will then step forward to protect that space for her to recreate. And I thought that was so beautiful, that the divine masculine has been waiting on the divine feminine, for the divine feminine, instead of being at war with each other, they are actually, one is stepping into her essence, and he then, seeing her inner essence, steps up and creates, as a guardian, a non-violent guardian, a sense of protectiveness around her mission of recreation. I thought that was so beautiful. And so this card to me feels like that. And I've been thinking a lot today about the male-female and how we've kind of blamed everything on the patriarchy. But really, it's an integration of being that we are both seeking. The male is seeking to uncover the feminine within his soul, coming in masculine form. This is not saying there are not different genders and different expressions of sexuality, but even within that, there is the male-female in operation. And the woman in general is coming in to express her femininity, her capacity to create, her womb-like wisdom that she pulls from within the center of her being, whether it's recreating a child or recreating a sense of nurturing in the world. She has great powers in that regard. But within her, she must find her masculine for the fortitude and the courage and the power to protect her, what she's created, and to integrate her own being, so as she gets older, she becomes more female male, and the man becomes more male female. So I feel right now, if we could really spend a lot of time in introspection and quietness, but also speaking our truth, through the government, speaking up about our truth of what we're seeing and what is affecting us and how it's affecting us and what we think should be done. We need to think about those things. We need to be involved, but we don't need to be involved in a negative state of wasting our life complaining about it. We need to be moving forward with our soul gifts and our capacity to serve with a sense of love in our heart. So I just wanted to share that today. Last weekend, I was blessed to find a lot of metaphysical books, the ancient metaphysical books, a lot of them not in print anymore, and to be able to, I'm going to slowly go through that ancient wisdom that was brought forward from the 1900s and the 20th century. There were a lot of great mystics that lived around the 1920s that brought forth the food for our soul that we are feeding upon now and carrying, hopefully, further forward. So what I wanted to suggest to you is, if you have a book at home that you feel is inspirational for you, you can actually give yourself a reading through holding the book to your heart. And this book is called Reincarnation and Karma. It's one of the books that I found at the sale. And I'm going to ask, for those that are watching, I'm going to open the book. I'm going to ask my guides to guide me to a page that will be a message that will be for all of us today, in this moment. So the page that I got is called The Magical Arts. That's a heading. And I'm just starting halfway down. It is extremely doubtful who has himself investigated a subject without bias, one way or the other, has remained unconvinced of the reality of that department of astrology or the science of nativities. So what this book is suggesting, is that we pick up the study of astrology. Now, Pluto has just gone into Aquarius, which is the ruler of astrology. And you'll notice a lot of the young people in their teens and 20s and 30s are becoming astrologically aware. And I would like to give a brief shout out for astrology. Astrology is the oldest of the sacred sciences. And astrology preceded religions. Astrology speaks to the divine alignment in the heavens and the configuration that you chose at your moment of birth. The geometric configurations that would be imprinted on your aura at your moment of birth. You chose that moment, and your divine intentions are buried within your chart. And I promise all of you, I didn't start to study astrology till I was 50 years old. I thought it was a bunch of malarkey. I thought it was, because I'd read it in the newspaper, and it was so generalized, it could cover anybody, anywhere, anytime. But I happened to pick up a book called Astrology, A Sacred Science. And I started to look at that book, and I was overwhelmed with the revelations I was getting about my own chart. I had never printed out my own chart or looked at my own chart till I was 50 years old. And I thought, oh my gosh, if I had read this when I was young, how much it would have helped me with my life. So to me, the study of astrology first is about ourselves. It's not about reading everybody else and telling them who they are. It's gaining a deeper insight into, why did I choose that mother? Why did I choose that father? What were the gifts I developed in other lives? What is my soul purpose in this life? And then you put it around it, the astrology chart of today, which is called the daily transits, and you see how that is guiding you toward growth, wisdom, and a deeper capacity to have love and mercy expressed through your being. So to me, the message from here is, get a very simple spiritual astrology book. Get your chart printed out and slowly investigate your own path. Because that's what we're here. Why am I here? Who am I? What are my soul's greatest gifts? What can I pull out? What is coming down the road toward me that will seem to be a challenge, but will ultimately promote me toward greater growth? So I take the gift of this book that we all need to study astrology. All of us. It is the most illuminating study of all my metaphysical studies. And what happened with me was at age 50, I started reading at 6 hours a day. And when I was 53, I was approached by a woman that was the editor of Venice Magazine, which was a very famous arts and entertainment magazine. She said, I would like you to write the astrology column for our magazine. So from age 53 to my late 60s, I wrote that column. And each month I wrote very deep, in-depth explanations of what was coming up for each sign. And I made it very much bringing a spiritual link into the world of arts and entertainment. And I learned, I'm still studying astrology to this day, 30 years later. So my message for today, study evolutionary spiritual astrology, and you will be blown away by what you learn. Thank you, and God bless you. If you would take down my name on YouTube, AngelicMercy.com is my website. And if you wish a reading, you can write to me at angelicmercy44@gmail.com. I hope you like and subscribe if this video helped you in any way. And I wish you a blessed day of looking inwards and looking upwards and staying positive.